Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller. I don't know why I stammered there. Today I'm going to be doing a haul video. I have emptied out the bottom of one of the bins bags from St. Louis. And then I have a new bag here of stuff that we picked up at the bins and yard sales. Did we go into any thrift stores? I don't think so in Nashville. Nope, just yard sales, estate sales,
We
and
went
then
into
the
one,
bins.
but it was crazy priced.
See, I don't even remember.
It was Music City Thrift.
Oh, yeah. Somebody had told me that Music City Thrifts had bags. You know, I love the bags at thrift stores.
Like the
Yeah,
red,
a
white, and blue.
wall. Yeah, like, not like the red, white, and blue, but walls, like Savers supposedly does, where, you know, they've got toys in bags, so smalls. It was all garbage for like $1.99 for a few items in a bag. Not a single thing did I see worth picking out of that.
I looked at the clothes. They were like, what, Nobo Walmart jeans
There was a lot of Nobos.
for like $8.99 or whatever it was. Crazy priced.
Crazy, crazy. So I still think at some point I would like to go back during the summer at some point and hit some of their yard sales again. I just think, you know, we just didn't have enough time. The weather didn't cooperate the first 2 days we were there. So, you know, I think it would be nice to go where, you know, you've got entire subdivisions that really do yard sales. Anytime we see somebody that says subdivision sale, it's one, maybe two in our area. It's just ridiculous. I don't know why they do that to try to draw us there, but still.
Occasionally we have good subdivision sales. Was it in Pleasant Valley? Pleasant View,
Tennessee.
where they had a subdivision sale, or it was like the whole town looked like I was in the Northeast of like in Connecticut or something. It just,
oh yeah,
it was weird. All the buildings were really tight together and kind of tallish.
The tall 3 floors. Yeah, it just totally didn't look like that area should have been.
No, it did not look like a place out of Tennessee. And the streets were really skinny.
And people need to understand, when you're yard selling and there's subdivision sales, park on one side of the road. It was crazy because there was a few times I was afraid that we were going to either get scraped or scrape. But
be polite.
Be polite. Park on one side of the road. All right, let me show you. It's like the bottom of a bag of stuff from the bins. It seems a lot of it's going to be bread and butter. Like a little Build-A-Bear, smaller Marvel Spider-Man. You know, like I said, bread and butter. I loved this. Definitely looks older. Let me see. USA. Oh, wait. It's Irwin Toy USA, but made in China. Peanuts. I don't see a date. But it's just got the fake leather shoes. Charlie Brown, Snoopy's. Ever since we bought that huge lot of Snoopy stuff, I tend to still pick up even more of it. Probably going to be bread and butter.
Wasn't Irwin like the Canadian company that first made pound puppies?
We did that, yes. The IRWIN. Yep. So maybe about that same time. That tag looked old, even though it said made in China. Just Play, Disney, Bambi, bread and butter. Our Generation by Batat. If I've got a lot, I'll add this to it. I don't normally pick up the Batat pets anymore. This must have snuck through. But if I've got a lot, I'll add it to it. This is Yomiko Classics Russ. His name is Flavio. He has this paper tag. Again, probably bread and butter. Somebody asked me when we were in the bins about for real pets. She had a little white one in her hand and was asking me, would it be something that, you know, she should pick up? And I'm at the point with these for reals that if they're clean, I probably would pick them up. Most of them are going to be bread and butter, but there's quite a few that sell for a decent amount of money. This one, you know, it's clean. always, I say this anytime I get ones like this, check the limbs. A lot of times kids are too rough with them and they break the limbs, and you really don't want to buy them, obviously, if they're not going to work for sure. Again, I'm hoping like $10, $12 for the squirrel. Dr. Seuss, Aurora. I think I may have one of these listed, or maybe I have the Grinch and I'll just make a lot of them. There's the two that look very similar. But you know, again, a lot of this is bread and butter. Now, I just sold a recent Gerber. I don't even know what this one is. Oh, this one's Russ. But it was a vintage plush that kind of looked like this, Gerber. And they had left in their feedback that they had had it as a child and they were buying it either for their child or for their grandchild. So never underestimate these plain vintage plush. Like I said, look, this one's a rattle mouse. I'm hoping 15, 20 bucks for it. Pokemon. I need to quit buying these. I'm just going to say that. They take forever. It's, you know, it needs a bath. It's got some loose strings. You know, if I look this up and it's going to be, you know, under 10 bucks, I may just go ahead and donate it. It's not in the best condition. But, you know, when you're at the bins and you're just pulling, I don't always stop and check condition, especially if I'm the one that grabbed it. Because my cart just gets very full. And then if Robert brings stuff, you know, a lot of times I'll put his stuff in my cart and I'll give him my whole cart and then I'll take his cart and go off. But yeah, I'm not overly impressed with this. I'm just going to tell you, but we'll see. Douglas, little chick hen. If I've got others listed, I may make a lot of them because more than likely this is going to be like $7, $8, $9. Now there's quite a few of these. I wasn't going to pick them up, and then because I found a lot that I could make a lot of, I went ahead and grabbed them, but they could be spread out between all the rest of the bags that are still back there. But they are precious moments. You can almost tell by their eyes. They've got like a teardrop, water drop eye. Just very cute. Trying to see. 2022 it looks like. But there's going to be a lot of them, and I'm hoping to list 5 or 6 of them for, you know, 50 bucks or so.
You know, it's your age. All of the rest of our moments together should be considered precious.
Uh-huh. We have many, many, many years left.
Oh. Don't make it sound so dreary. I was having a good day.
All right, Build-A-Bear. Yeah, I probably picked it up for the outfit, but now that I'm looking at it, it's got that fake coating on the belt. If I wash this, that's going to be almost all gone. The shirt is definitely stained. I don't know. I'll definitely, I'm going to wash it and hope for the best. Maybe I'll try putting it in something like a garment bag to see if I can save that from being, you know, rubbed up against other plush. But, you know, I'm hoping, you know, 15 bucks, 20 bucks. All right, this is Dan D. Puppy Precious Christmas Talking and Rolling. Let's see. Nope, not working. We'll have to see. You know, I'm hoping like 15, 20 bucks for it if it works. Now, let's see. You know what? I just listed a small Simba. That, I'm pretty sure this was the same tag. I'm going to go look. If it's the same tag, I'm probably going to take the listing down, take new pictures. And like I said, when I do these where I have a listing and I want to add something to it, I take the listing down, end it, take a picture of the items together, the main photo, and then I just add pictures of the item that I'm adding, and then I adjust the title, the description if needed, and up the price a little bit, and then just relist. So, but probably something like that is going to ask just a few dollars to the current listing. Oops. Bears.
Thought you weren't buying those.
I know. This is gunned. It has its original paper tag. It's just picked up smudge from the bins. I'm trying to see if I have a name or anything. I've seen, this is newer. Let me see if I can see his name in here. He reminds me of another one that's older. Nope, I'm not seeing a name on here. Nice condition. Because it's more contemporary, I'm hoping $12, $15 for him. Lemur? Yes, this is a lemur. The whole conversation the other day about the red panda.
Yeah, I like to move it.
Yes.
I like to move it. I like to move it.
Zaboomafoo. If you ever find the lemur or the brothers from Zaboomafoo, those are definitely ones to be picking up. This one, though, is just Wild Republic. I'm hoping $10, $15 for it. Just as a reminder, because these came from the bins in St. Louis, we paid $2.09 a pound. So, that tells you how much I paid for each of these items. Most plush are like under 8 ounces. A lot of them. What was it you figured out the other day as far as, somebody had asked about the shipping.
Yes, somebody commented about, I recently, on our What Sold videos, have zoomed in on the web page a little bit more to make the picture bigger and the text and everything bigger. But apparently by doing that, it kind of moved the shipping price down on many items so that it's kind of hidden behind Rebel. And they asked me to make her picture smaller, which I'm happy to do. But, be able to show that. But it got me to wondering, how relevant is the shipping? Because Rebel had mentioned that the shipping is as if we were shipping it to ourselves here. So
if you're doing
comps or anything like that.
Well, no, but if you're doing calculated shipping, anytime you see, like if I throw a comp up, that shipping amount that you're seeing is because my zip code is in there, it's like as if I was shipping to myself. So it's not really relevant as far as what I'm selling my stuff for. But, I guess if I start seeing something like I ship something UPS ground or a large item, I'll try to remember to start showing you guys how much the buyer paid, just to give you an idea of the shipping costs that, others are paying for larger items or different things. But when Robert just kind of calculated everything out for me, it was kind of odd. I do flat rate shipping for everything that's under a pound. So I do the $4.95, $5.95, $6.95 based on the weight of what I'm guessing the package is going to weigh. And
calculating. You've calculated it.
I calculated it.
You're not just giving a wild guess.
No, it's based on weight. So, and of all the items that we sold last year,
2024,
I sold a little over 6,000 items, and 4,000 of them were under a pound. So that just kind of gives you an idea. I sell a lot of smalls, and then about a little over 2,000 was calculated shipping.
And the shipping on the calculated, for the most part, most things we ship is $6 to $8, somewhere in there. Anything
10,
local is like $6.40. A lot of things are in the $6 range. Some of it's in the $8. That's the vast majority of it. I didn't look, but that's when I'm shipping every day. That's what I'm seeing for shipping prices. When we have bigger things or heavier things, they're going to get up into the 10 or 12, but that's relatively rare for us. Mm-hmm. So if you want to guesstimate on shipping, you could probably say the buyer paid $6 shipping.
Yeah.
Just if you want to round it off on whatever it is. But I'm going to try to scrunch her picture down a little bit to make it make that shipping actually show.
Yeah, but just remember, if you're seeing $4.95, $5.95, or $6.95, that's my flat rate for under a pound. Look, Teletubbies. This is one of the ones that makes sounds. The good thing about these Teletubbies, the little sound box just comes right on out. So if you needed to wash it, that's fine. They just tie in, which, you know, I will run this through the wash. This one does not have a sound box in it, so it'll be fine too to run through the washing machine. Anytime you see one that has peeling like this, you know it's been washed at least once, but probably multiple times. They just get a whole lot of fuzz balls on them. So there was a time I used to sell these. Probably these were 40 to 50, and these were, you know, $20, $25, but it's not that way anymore. I probably would think maybe $20, $25 now for this, and this will probably be $10, maybe $15. If I've got any listed that are comparable in size, I may make a lot of them. Manatee, it's actually marked Naples, Florida. It is First in Maine. I like that brand a lot. But for the most part, it is bread and butter. Just nice quality, cute. All right. I know he's Disney, and I know, but I don't remember. Don't remember what he goes to at all. Pocahontas? No, Hercules. I'm thinking Hercules. I'll have Robert double check, but more than likely bread and butter. Just another cute Russ plush love bug. I'll look, I think this came in a couple of different sizes, so I'll just double check to see if I've got another one listed. Bread and butter. And then Stitch. I know, I keep saying I need to quit buying so many Stitch because they just take forever to sell. But when they're clean and in nice condition, yeah, I go ahead and pick them up. Okay, who was it?
Djali from The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I was wrong.
Esmeralda's companion.
Yes. Yep. Interesting. I was wrong. Yeah, some of these older plush I'm starting to forget. Now this is Douglas, a little hedgehog. Very cute and cuddly. I'll see if I can find some other animals to put with it. For the most part, these small plush like this, you know, are going to be bread and butter. A couple of plush, and then I'm going to show you my treasures, my littles that I picked up at the bins. But here is Cloud Island. I just recently sold, I think it was an elephant for like $20, $22, somewhere in there. So I'm hoping this is going to be, you know, up there also. A lot of the loveys are bread and butter. And then this one is Mary Meyer. It's very cute. I want to think I have something like this already listed. So we'll see. And then I think I almost threw this back, and then we looked it up because it's Garfield, you know, it's Pookie the bear. And usually if I find Pookie that's Applause or Dakin or Russ, they tend to be okay. They sell very quickly for me, but this one was Toy Factory, just kind of seemed blah. But when I looked him up, he's like 15, 20 bucks. So never underestimate some character plush in whatever brand you're looking at. So Pookie just seems to be one of those you need to just keep looking for. All right, a little Tweety Bird 3D cup. I want to say I have a Taz or a Bugs Bunny. One or the other listed. I may just go ahead and clean this up and make a lot of two because I think it's been listed for a while. Here's my treasure because I saw somebody walking around the bins with these in her cart and I was like, dang. And then when bins
How bad did you hurt her?
No. But I tend to, when there's no bins available, you know, I've already dug as much as I want to dig, I usually will go to the ends and look for what people have discarded. Because a lot of times people stand at the bins, same as us, and you go through your cart and you think, I don't really want these, and I dump them at the end of the bin. and I found these. And I don't, maybe there were more and she only wanted so many, but I have a feeling she dumped them. And let me show you what I picked up. A lot. Let's see, at least 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 of these vintage Bluebird Polly Pocket houses. These are not the compacts. I do have one compact. I think a lot of these were like, yeah, 90s. I found quite a few figures. I'm thinking 10, maybe a dozen, and I stuck them in some of these houses. So the houses open up like this. I want to say these like houses are going to be maybe $20+ for each of them. This one is identical. I'm just realizing that. Here's another one of the larger ones. I don't have people in that one either. Be careful when you're listing these that you really look them over, because sometimes they'll have like swinging gates or other pieces and it'll either be broken or missing parts. So look them over very carefully to make sure things aren't missing. You'll get a, you know, item not as described or damaged. And then got 4 of these smaller houses. All right, I think this one might have some of the figures. Yeah, I threw, there's like 2 little figures. I'll go in and do Google Lens and hopefully be able to see if any of the figures that I have go with any of the houses, because that actually really increases the value of these little compact or these little houses. And then 2 more here. This one sounds like it might have a few figures. Yep, it's got 2 more figures in there. Oh no, 3 figures. And this one, oh, that's not good. Oh, and here, look, this one has a bunch. It's got a groom right there and 2 little girls. So yeah, probably about 8 or 10. Oh wait, there's another one in there stuck. So 5 in this one. All right, and then I found 1 compact. So, but yeah, treasures for sure. This one is a Disney version of the Polly Pocket stuff. It doesn't have any characters in it, but it is Lion King. I am pretty sure I've sold this like recently. And I don't think I had any figures in it either, but probably bread and butter because there were no figures with it. All right, so I'm looking forward to getting this processed. A little bit of research needed to figure out if I've got any of the correct figures to go with the houses. But yeah, if you go to the bins, make sure even like the clothing areas, anything that's near the registers, check the ends of the bins to see what people have thrown away. I have found lots of treasures that way. So, you know.
St. Louis has that 3 or 4 or 5 bins that along the wall that when there's a long checkout line that people are digging through their carts and tossing more stuff into.
Yeah.
They're always good to dig through.
Yeah, I usually wait to look through them when we're in the line. So instead of throwing stuff out that maybe I should be, I'm looking for other people's discards. All right, it's time to get to work. Bye.